Welcome into Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP on a glorious Thinker Thursday, which are really good days because we think about all the things. So there's a lot of news. We have a guest coming in at 3:30, along with perhaps a plunge at 4 o'clock. JP, is that right? Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, good. And then other news that it just never really seems to stop. But before any of that, how are all of you? Are y'all good?
Kind of sideways. There we go, JP. Yeah. Good. I had an uneventful morning. It's kind of nice. Well, I say that being a parent is tough sometimes. And that's what this morning was about. Like, bless it, little baby boy, 23, first job. Sometimes it's just tough. And you can't go like, I want to drive over and like take him lunch and be like, you can do it. And mama can't do that because that would be embarrassing. It's like my husband asked my youngest daughter last night if parents still came to lunch at the high school. That's exactly what it would be like. So this morning was spent kind of parenting, but trying not to parent. And so I think sometimes, I don't know, it's humbling to trust God and trust that maybe they can do it without you. It's hard, but it was a good morning. JP, you do anything fun?
Work.
Oh,
per usual.
Boo. Why?
I don't know. I got this job, and y'all wouldn't believe the people I work with, but
tell us.
No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, you've been working hard trying to make us look good on. We did film. If you're watching, you will see the new ad we recorded. It actually, for Paul Breyer and Inspire Advisors, turned out pretty good. But considering where we started, if you haven't, you need to go to our social media, Rightside Media, Fluffy Kittens. What is it?
It's just Rightside Media on everything.
Yep. And there's a blooper reel because it took us a long time to get to anywhere good.
9 minutes.
But you weren't counting or anything.
9 minutes, but we still didn't get it done in the 9 minutes.
No, the 9 minutes was, I know we had to do it again after the show, which then y'all got it on the first take after the show, which is the take that we ended up using. But then Allison goes, no, we can do it better. And then I don't even think we may have done it again.
We did it again at the very end. After,
but I thought the first one was still better. 9
minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. Okay.
But yeah, it's like, oh, we did it first take after the show. Like, wait, and then it was 5 more minutes of what the first 9 minutes was like. And then we eventually got it again. But yeah.
I needed that though. I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate you, JP, for just bearing with us. I was showing it. I don't know what Chris did, but I was showing it to Jared last night and he literally couldn't watch it. He was like, Allison, y'all are painful. I was like, what do you mean? I said, this is awesome. He goes, if I'm JP and y'all have a job to do and that's what you're acting like, I'm like,
oh my word. My family texted, my husband could not stop laughing and my kids texted me because I didn't send it to them. And my girls were like, Mom, I'm rolling, whatever that thing is, rolling on the floor laughing.
ROFL.
That. I was like, really? And they're like, no, that was funny. So I don't know, but it's a blooper reel and at least, we had a laugh.
The good news is I sent it to Paul Breyer and he said he was crying laughing. Like, actually, he said there was tears in his eyes from laughing.
So the boss of the ad thought it was funny, which was good.
And gave us permission to post it. So
thank you, Paul Breyer at Inspire Advisors.
Yeah.
Because you do Christian conservative investing. And you know what? By the way, we didn't get to the story yesterday, but they've made big news because Inspire Advisors is a national organization and they are pulling out of any company who is known to have DEI policies, woke policies. They made Fox Business this is crazy in the investing world. because investing's investing, but not to Inspire advisors. But they made Fox Business as a national company because they're pulling out of woke companies and they're not having their clients invest in those organizations. So bravo to Inspire, to Paul and his team. And also thank you for being with us, because we really appreciate you a lot. A lot.
I like it a lot.
A lot.
Maybe we play the blooper reel in the commercial break for those watching.
Yes, we should. And
such a good idea.
And very soon, when we have our commercial breaks, we will have podcasts that we're doing, and we're doing some that y'all are going to love. And we're so excited to bring them to you. They're not done yet. They're coming up. We're doing one this weekend that is going to be a banger. You will not believe
Kind of a big deal.
who we're going to have in studio. And we're even doing it on a weekend. We don't do this normally, but for this person, we're doing it. So get ready, because the space is about to be filled by things you really want to see. And we're excited about that. So that's good news on this Thursday. And here's a fun, not the bee, hilarious. See if you pick up on this.
What was
first.
that word?
Hilarious. I combined hilarious and us and Polaris, or like a Polaris four-wheeler. Boom, like that.
Hilarious.
Okay, catch this, y'all. Listenerland, catch this. This is from Not the Bee. Anti-ICE protester says they set up roadblocks so they know who's coming and going. Okay. Do you think that she caught what she said when she said it?
No, I bookmarked that story too, because I thought y'all are absolute idiots.
Wait. Say it again.
Anti-ICE protester says they set up roadblocks so they know who's coming and going.
That's funny.
Borders are bad. You're on stolen land. No walls. But we're going to set up a wall and a checkpoint. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what's funny is, I think like the video I saw, people actually stopped and like respected.
They did.
Show me Z papers.
Allison, they did. They said that anti-immigration control protesters really did create checkpoints throughout the city of Minneapolis. I give up.
They don't even look official. They look like homeless people in the middle of the road.
Yeah, you know, like those people on 280 sometimes stop with those buckets and they ask you to give money.
Why they can do that?
And I don't either. It makes you feel like, ooh, my skin's crawling a little bit.
Do you give money?
No.
You're going to hell.
I do not give money.
Do you give money?
I don't always have cash on me, but if I have cash on me, I'm a softie with homeless people. I feel bad.
You sure they're actually homeless?
And there was one time on Easter Day when I was leaving Huntsville to go back to Gadsden when I was in Gadsden. And I literally went to the bank to deposit some money into the bank. And there was a homeless guy sitting outside right in front of the bank with a sign, and he had a dog with him. And I don't know. So I got
the dog.
I got the money that I was going to put in the bank, and I just went out and gave it to him. It said Happy Easter. If I don't have cash, I don't have cash. But if I have cash, I try to give something to homeless people from time to time. But
it is my observation that especially work age young men who are sitting at the end of intersections with new shoes on do not need my money. Now, there are times when you would obviously give, and you know that because we have the Holy Spirit. We know, generally speaking, I have heard from people who run homeless shelters, do not give them money. If you want to give them something, my growing up pastor used to say, let me take you to McDonald's. And they generally refuse.
Interesting.
Or let me take you to Jimmy Hill Mission or Jesse's Place and get you warm and well fed. And we can stop at McDonald's on the way. I think there are better ways, but there are times, because I have children that are just like you, and I love that about your heart. But the old me is like, there was somebody where we used to work that would sit there, and I'm like, I recognize addiction and I cannot support you. I'm sorry, buddy. So there's a time and place for everything. And I think it's very wonderful that you do that, JP.
It was the dog. Seeing the pit bull. It was a pit bull. And I was just like, the dog's gonna die if I don't give him some.
Mm.
But I wonder if he even gave his dog water and food, or if he just went and got like heroin. The world will never know. But I did what I can do.
Yeah.
I think you got to do what the spirit is telling you to do. But I do remember Scott Beeson telling us. You remember the story about he was downtown and there was a guy that was on the side of the road, and everybody would give him money every day. And one day Scott drove by and saw him getting into his Lexus in the parking lot, like around the corner. Like, okay.
That's not typical.
Maybe we're all stupid. But I don't know. Generally, I'm with you. I just, I've gotten bitter and cynical in my old age.
Get a job.
Yeah. Go do something with your life. I don't know if that's the right attitude either.
And then you also get into the mental health question. Like 60% of the people on the street are reported to be mentally ill, and you hate that too. But there are people where we live that will come up and knock on your window and scare the crap out of me. And if my grandkids are in the car, absolutely not. But there are other ways that we can support. But the Bible also says, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. So I don't really want to talk about it, but we have a responsibility to give. But in those situations, when I see somebody that's a young man with nice shoes on, that's a no for me.
Maybe I should just go throw some dirt on myself. Maybe like rip this shirt. Maybe go get a dog, my brother's dog. See if I can borrow my brother's dog.
Yeah.
Go stand on the side of the road. I can make like $200.
Hey,
You could.
That's a lot. That would be a great gig if you could make $200 a day just standing there.
We'll let y'all know how this goes.
Probably wouldn't be very fun though.
Maybe I'll get in a turf war with like the other homeless guy and get shot or something. So maybe it's not a great idea.
Oh, this escalated quickly.
Wow.
Okay, let's don't do that. My word. Let's take a break. We're gonna sort out JP's future job. Maybe you'd make more than you make here. Let's talk about this. We'll be back.
How Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. You've heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team of investment advisors.
Allison! Sorry! Okay, sorry.
Hey, y'all. You've heard us talk about investment JP, turn around.
Okay.
Go in the other room.
Nothing else to do but look at JP.
All right, don't look at JP.
Oh.
Look at the camera.
Okay.
This is our big break. This commercial is our big break.
It's not even funny. Okay.
Hey, y'all. You've heard us talk about our friends.
Y'all?
Hey, you've heard us talk about
Gang,
Inspire Advisors. We'll get it, JP. Just don't give up on us.
You should do it like Marge.
Okay. Hey, my friends. You've heard us talk about Inspire Advisors. Now, Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't match your Christian values.
Paul and his team are experts at what we call biblically responsible investing. And they're offering a free class for a limited time just for you. You're up.
Check out the class and register for free at www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly. It's conservative. It's financial freedom.
Again, you go to Inspire Advisors at www.moneywealthpattern.com and check them out and tell them Rightside sent ya.
We'll do it afterwards. So JP tells me that our montage is jam-packed. And based on the stories he sent, I believe him. So JP, how about take it away?
Black for News.
In my time
was a mass
claiming my
unfettered
time.
immigration.
Mr. Chair, will you let him know that when I asked him
The time does
took
belong
up
to
the housing
woman
stock.
from California.
10 and 20 million immigrants
Can you
took
shut
up the
him up?
housing stock of working Americans. And can you maintain some level of dignity?
Gentlelady's time has expired.
No, my time has not expired.
Your time has expired.
Now, no matter what we do, this moron, no matter what it is, we could put them all together. I think, Mike, what would you say the top 5 things? Name them. We'll put them in one bill, and we'll put them before we'll get 100% vote, except for this guy named Thomas Massey. There's something wrong with him. We call him Rand Paul Jr. You know, it's like they just vote no. They love voting no. They think it's good politically. The guy's polling at about 9%. It's not good.
Senator Cruz, how confident are you that we can get the SAVE Act to the floor for a vote? Do you think it's actually going to happen, or is this an empty promise?
Look, I very much hope so. I can tell you I am urging my colleagues to end the zombie filibuster and to force the Democrats to do an old-fashioned talking filibuster.
Going through everything I did with everything at San Jose, I ended up developing an eating disorder, and I became very anorexic. Yeah, it's definitely been hard to look back on it, but I think also where I'm at now, I'm proud of myself for healing so well from it. And I mean, I'm better than I've ever had at this point in my life.
They have to ask, and they have to say please. When a city is
who
going
has to ask and who has
the
to say
mayor
please?
or the governor, I don't want to go and force ourselves into a city, even if their numbers are terrible.
And speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch.
Some of those we're going to need to go back and kind of explain.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen the San Jose, that she was the volleyball player.
Yeah.
That they couldn't play in the tournament because of I can't remember that story.
I do want to hold to the plunge or
I have something that explains it perfectly.
Okay.
I'm so glad you included that, and I'm glad you asked that question because it has been a minute since we've seen it, and I'll send it to you in the break, JP. I have one that explains what happened because it's worse than I realized.
It was a Title IX thing, though, right?
transgender
Yes.
teammate.
It was
yes.
a Title IX thing.
Oh, okay.
And then beyond that, there was something that we've been paying attention to that for a while because our friend Scott's daughter is a phenom was in college volleyball, now in pro volleyball. But there was even more to the story that I learned this morning that I was like, oh my gosh, we have to talk about that. So I've got that clip for us to play. So
we'll do that later.
Don't fear.
Y'all will explain it to me like I'm 5.
We will explain it.
It's not that complicated.
You explain it. Well, I mean, bless her heart.
Yeah.
Eating disorder. She apparently had like lots of psychological. I mean, I don't know how you don't. The whole world's probably coming after you, but I think it's good to talk about because there was a ruling, like a Trump.
Yes.
Something in her favor.
Yes.
Okay, we'll cover that.
Totally in her favor. So what did you real quick number one, could we please have a Maxine Waters? Could you shut him up? Could we keep that on the board?
Will you shut him up?
Now, shut up is, my husband hates that phrase, shut up, but Maxine Waters saying it is funny.
That one doesn't even really, we don't even have to go into that one. I think the clip just says it itself of like.
I think it deserves a little bit of attention though, because, well, first of all, she reminds me of my grandmother. That's hysterical.
Pat?
No, my other one.
Who's your other one?
Vanita.
Oh, Vanita. No,
Vanita May.
Hold on. Vanita May. Now, this is not the Vanita May. Pat is the one who smoked her parliaments.
Yeah. I love
Pat,
that you remember.
Pat smoked her parliaments and made you drink your milk, and you were really mad at her.
I love you, Abs. You remember this. Yes. She's from Indiana. She's a Yankee. And
oh, bless it.
She sat in her robe by the door and just judged everybody that went by, and she smoked her parliaments all day. And her little housekeeper did all her work. But anyway, no, this is Vanita May, my mom's mom, who just, when people get older, they just say things and do things, and it's so embarrassing. And then you're like, God, I hope I can just burp at the table like that when I'm 82, But her looking over, because somebody said, Ms. Waters, you told him to shut up. And she said, I did not. I asked him to tell him to shut up. Like,
so good.
I think it's worth discussing because it is embarrassing. It's like Jasmine Crockett in these committee meetings. You're like, these are our leaders.
And don't forget what she said in the past.
Oh.
Do you remember?
Something about killing everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll play that too. How about that?
How about that? We'll get to that in just a minute. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside. We're looking at family pictures. Okay, really? That's really got a filter on it?
Yeah, that, apparently I was trying to find a picture of Vanita Mae for Abs, and the only one I could find is from Christmas. It was right before she died, but I guess one of my kids had like Snapchat filters. And so it was Vanita with a mustache.
Sure.
Eating her cupcake. And then my grandfather and Abs, you were like, oh, she's really pretty. I'm like, no, that's a filter on my grandfather. But
Sorry about that.
Anyway, yeah.
Mr. Sir.
Kids are funny.
There's one on my phone somewhere of the same with my grandfather with
like girl hair.
He actually sat down in front of the computer and willingly let us put pink hair with glasses on him, and he's just like, I got it somewhere on my phone.
And you'll have it forever. And
Yeah.
it'll make you laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just sweet.
What a sport.
So you're right, Allison. What a masterclass by Scott Bessent.
Yeah, I think it's
Bessent.
I don't know how you say it.
Bessent.
I think.
Bessie.
Why would we play this? Well, because you and I both know there are people in our lives with whom you will have uncomfortable conversations. And sometimes not only does it relate to the kind of leaders we have, because Maxine Waters is unhinged, and I'll go back and find the things she has said to large groups of people in California when she was home visiting her district, but it's also learning how to talk to people. And he did such a good job. She's like, "Can somebody shut him up?" And he just is sitting there, pleasant, and mainly, this is the takeaway, y'all, unbothered.
Do we want to quickly replay her saying "shut up"?
Yes. Could you please do that?
I need to correct you. It's will you please tell him to shut up?
Will you please shut him up?
Yeah. Will you please shut him up? Yeah. It's funny.
My time was a mass unfettered immigration. Mr. Chair, will you let him know that when I asked
The time does belong to
the housing
woman
stock.
from California.
10 and 20 million immigrants
Can you
took
shut
up the
him up?
housing stock of
shut him
working
up?
Americans, and can you maintain some level of dignity?
Gentlelady's time has expired.
No, my time has not expired.
Your time has expired. And the judge.
I don't know if it's the hair or the makeup, but he keeps really good composure.
He does always wear makeup.
He does. He has on a lot of makeup.
I know.
But if you put a mustache on Maxine Waters, that is my grandma.
Is
That
it?
Snapchat? Yeah, they're twins. Well, my grandma's white, but they could be sisters from. Well, what do you say? Sisters
From another Mr.
long lost sisters.
Yeah, something like that. But I can't believe what. Now I have to say, remember when Mark Wayne Mullen wanted to fight that union guy on the floor of the Senate chamber?
Yeah,
or
and
committee room.
Mark Wayne Mullen is a trained MMA fighter.
Like I was for that one. That one was awesome. But all this Jasmine Crockett, remember when she called out MTG and she was like, "You bleach blonde built body."
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let's look that one up.
Beach blonde built body. Yeah.
But no, it was like a bunch of bees. I don't know how she came up with all those words, but I just can't believe this is happening from our leaders. Like the people we're supposed to look up to. And then Abs, I don't know if you have Maxine Waters, but I remember it. She told people to go harass everybody and kill. I mean, it's just ugly. It's tacky and it's ugly and it's a little bit out of control.
It's also something that we've run into over the last couple of weeks, and it is so uncomfortable. And it is asking our leaders questions. But this is one lady who really doesn't like to be questioned, because what they're doing now, as I'm looking through the feed, they are now asking after this little shenanigan with Scott Bessent.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Is that good?
It's close enough.
They want Scott to audit Maxine Waters' financial records so that they can find out how she lives in a $4.6 million mansion and has a $5.3 million net worth on a salary of $174,000 a year.
Well, I mean, she just invests well.
Yeah. Sure she does.
Well,
She's been there most of her life. I am trying to
Yeah,
find the
that's
funny
true.
things she said in the past.
Oh, you know which other one I really liked?
Yes.
Mike Rogers when he lunged on the House floor after Tim Burchett and Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. I think with the Democrats in particular, it is intentional. I go back to the Saul Alinsky's rules of trying to bait you into a reaction. Because in a different clip, there was like 2 other Democratic representatives or senators that went after Bessent in a performative, like rah-rah manner. One of them actually, Bessent responded with like, in 2006, you took a trip to Venezuela and met with Hugo Chavez, and but there was a back and forth, and the chairman was trying to regain order, and Maxine Waters is sitting next to him, saying to the Democrat, "No, you keep talking, you keep going." And I just think every time like one of these Trump administration members goes and testifies, there is some performative something to get them to try to react. But I think it's a top-down order and you see all these videos. I saw one the other day of Chuck Schumer saying the F word on his social media of like, the Trump administration is effing crazy. Like they're trying to this performative. I think it's intentional.
So I did find the video, and you are right. I also believe, how could we not observe from all the information they've given us over the years that it's not intentional? But she said, boy, this has been a while ago. If you see anybody from that cabinet, this is from Trump 1. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and create a crowd and push back on them. You tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere. So they're allowed to say and do things like this, but we're not, apparently.
Yeah. Could you imagine if one of us said that?
No. Oh, yeah. And also at the same time, two Septembers ago, she called Trump supporters domestic terrorist.
Yeah, that was what we were for a while.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really stick.
She's also the one that, remember, she led the charge to go into an ICE facility, and she was talking to the ICE officer and was like, "Give me your ID." And he's like, "No, I don't. You're not law enforcement. Like, I don't owe you my ID." But she was like, you get me your ID right now. It's like, who do you think you are?
I've got that video.
Oh,
yeah.
All of a sudden, IDs are important.
Exactly.
Oh, did you say that out loud? Yeah. So they live above the law. They live in their own bubble. They invest how they want to invest. We already have a king and parliament, essentially, but it's them doing what they want whenever they want to do it. It's unbelievable that the people who support them cannot see that their No Kings protests should be against the own people they purport to follow. And they never get it, ever. Yeah. They're like, yeah, more of the same. Let's set up roadblocks so we know who's coming and going. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. And they don't even see it.
No.
What did y'all think about, any other thoughts on that? I just read my list and I'm kind of curious what y'all think about.
Oh, no, ask.
Donald J. Trump calling Thomas Massie a moron at the National Prayer Breakfast. That's the thing. It was this morning at the National Prayer Breakfast. Rand Paul Jr. It's like, why we got to be like that?
Yeah.
I guess because I thought Massie did the right thing. We were calling all of Congress out yesterday for allowing, what was it, $1.3 trillion to go to scholarships for higher education for underprivileged kids in Egypt. And that's what Trump is saying. Massie's a terrible person. Massie went through, he voted, or he put an amendment out to make it so the government can't put a kill switch on your car. Congress voted it down. The Republican majority voted it down. So why is he an idiot? And even if
he said moron.
I'm sorry. Is there a difference?
Probably technically, but I don't know.
Hey, Siri. What's the difference between a moron and an idiot?
According to Merriam-Webster, an idiot is a foolish or stupid person, while a moron is a mildly mentally retarded person.
Wait.
Siri said it. Okay.
Siri said retarded?
Yes, mildly retarded.
Is that because she's British?
Yeah, probably.
Mildly retarded.
She sounded so nice when she was saying
I didn't know there was a difference.
I didn't either.
I didn't even hear it. Tell me again, an idiot is who? Okay, anyway. Okay.
We'll ask again in the break and get it.
Massey is mildly retarded.
Yeah. No, he's not, but that's what Trump said.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
a moron means.
Right. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I've said before, like Massey, I wish was a lot less libertarian on a lot of things. But if we're talking about getting the Epstein files out and holding firm on the SAVE Act and not spending above our budget, that's just what Massey is principled on, and I agree with him on all of that. So no, he's not a moron. I wish that Trump would stop endorsing Lindsey Graham and calling Massey a moron publicly. But Massey's even talked about when Massey's wife died last year. Apparently Trump called him and like left a voicemail, a very nice, sweet voicemail, with his condolences. And then just because Massey has been doing the Epstein files and such, after Massey remarried this year, he goes on Truth Social and was like, boy, that was quick. Like, it's part of me wonders if it's performative and he's trying to make an example out of Massey to stop others and scare others into going against him. But at the same time, it's just like,
it's unnecessary.
Right.
You don't have to do that. I mean, we're already mad at you because you seem to be retreating in Minneapolis on who you're actually going after. Criminal, illegal aliens. That's not what we voted for. So for him to go after Massey for standing firm on what we want, we can't even get answers from Republicans we really do like and appreciate. They won't even tell us why they voted for this after railing against it. We don't understand. So I think this is a part of Trump that makes me just go, can you, like Maxine Waters, can you make him shut up? Whatever she said. Did she say shut up or be quiet?
Shut. She said, can you shut him up?
Can you shut him up? And you're at the prayer breakfast, like you said. You're at the prayer breakfast where clearly the man we need to continue to pray for his soul.
Kind of reminded me of us getting called heifers from the pulpit.
Right.
Yeah.
Just is not the right time.
No.
Call me a heifer in the parking lot at the gas station or something. That's appropriate.
Or driving by.
Or driving by.
You heifer.
Yeah. Don't do it behind the pulpit. That's just tacky.
Be a man and step down from the pulpit if you're going to call me a heifer.
It's like we used to all meet at Goddard's. It was a gas station slash like you could go in and get a steamed sandwich, the best sandwiches that they put. Yeah, but that's where you would meet after school and everybody would fight in the Goddard's parking lot. Like that's where you call somebody a heifer. Not at your church.
No.
At least go to Goddard's.
Please.
Step away from God and go to Goddard's.
Heifer. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. So, JP, before we roll into the 3 o'clock hour and our interview with our guest, Tommy Barnes, who's running against Robert Adderholt, we'll have that conversation and then continue on with the montage. Then at 4 o'clock, we'll take a plunge, which is when we're going to dive into that trans volleyball story and have a clip that explains more of what's going on, because it's far worse. And perhaps at the same time, talk about that ruling that came down that suddenly the American Academy of Pediatrics and other organizations like that are like, we're not going to do trans surgeries anymore, suddenly. So it all goes together. It's all a cabal. But this story with this trans volleyball athlete from San Diego State or San Jose State University, fascinating. But first, JP, do we have any text?
We do. By the way, if y'all want to text into the show, let us know your thoughts. The number is, or you're whistleblowing about the Redstone Arsenal having spacecraft. Which I'm dead serious about. 833-687-4448. If you want to let us know your thoughts. Lisa from Tanner, we were talking to start the show about giving to homeless folks.
Oh, yes.
She sent a long text here, but it's a good one. She said, I agree that you should listen to the prompts of the Holy Spirit, but I learned from people who ministered to the homeless that many street corner panhandlers are part of a loose organization. Someone will drop them off in the morning and come collect them and their, quote, earnings at the end of the day. I learned to ask questions like, quote, how did this person in a wheelchair get to the overpass at Bob Wallace to beg for money? I work at a very large gas station for a while. I was outside and watched a guy continue to panhandle after customers reported him, and he was told to leave. He walked over to a white Mercedes at a pump. He handed something to the driver, and the driver handed him a sandwich. He went back to panhandling until a manager told him to leave. He then went back to the Mercedes, climbed in, and they left together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. I agree. I think just sometimes my gut tells me with certain people, like, you know.
You have to listen. And the Bible says we give, obviously, but you're right. There are times when you just go, I'm looking at your eyes and you are high as a kite and I can't, or I am in danger. I will endanger my family if I put my windows down. And I'm sorry, I can't help you. So there are other ways. And like Allison's suggestion of little kits of water and soap and a toothbrush, great idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
You told me that. I did that for a little while.
Lisa from Huntsville says, I have bought fast food gift cards for homeless people before. However, those people, I think, were special needs adults.
Oh.
And we also made a joke, or I made a joke about faking as a homeless person and getting some earnings. And Rhett from Danville said, tax-free.
Hey.
It's an idea.
That's so true. It's like you make 30% more.
I can't do that.
It's not a bad idea.
JP, you can't. You would smile and people know you and they'd be like, JP.
No, the cute little old ladies would come pick him up and throw him in their car.
They would.
And they'd probably feed me. I get a free dinner.
Probably.
Let's see. Mike from Florence says, last night I watched a speech from anti-ICE protesters. The speaker was trans. They are now actually tying transgender care into the argument, saying some of them are scared to go out for care like HRT, etc.
Come on. Really?
Wait, is that because they're illegal?
I guess so. Like they can't go out and get their transgender treatment because they're scared of ICE.
Okay, I'm so confused. Are we talking about Hispanic illegals? Are we talking about Somali illegals?
They're just illegal. We don't know.
They're just illegals.
I don't even know if this was an
Trans
illegal,
legal.
but I think this was just an anti-ICE protester, and in their speech said that some of the illegals are scared to get their HRT treatment because they are here illegally and trans.
That's a first world problem right
Tell me you don't really have problems. Tell me you're not a moron.
The Gestapo won't let me.
That's moronic behavior, not Thomas Massey, by the way.
What did we say it meant?
Mildly mentally retarded. Don't get mad at us. Siri said that was the definition.
She did. And British Siri is even more serious and confirmational than American Siri.
Mildly mentally retarded.
She sounds so much smarter. I'm not going to lie. Every time. I don't know why mine went back to like redneck regular Siri. I have to change it.
It's a bit mentally retarded, isn't it?
He's such a moron. Okay, we gotta
Who knew there's a difference? Moron and idiot.
We'll be back with Tommy Barnes, who, if he's listening, he's like, I'm not going on.
Yeah, he's going to be gone when I go out there.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are joined by Tommy Barnes, who's running for Congress in District 4, which is kind of Chris's family's neck of the woods. So we are, well, it is not kind of. We are excited to talk to you. I like your card. It says you're a term limits guy.
Yeah, that's me. It's probably resonates more to everyone as I go out in the entire district than anything that I could bring up. It's probably the number one issue. Who you running against? So-and-so. Oh, it's time. And in general, it's time for all of them.
Yeah. What are well, tell us a little bit about yourself. I did see you're a chemical engineer.
That's correct. I was at my alma mater last night in the basketball game. University of Alabama, chemical engineering degree. I grew up in Colbert County and went to the University of Alabama, of course, and finished and worked in consulting field a few years in fertilizer feed. Then I went on to industry in the aluminum industry, where I specialized in coatings and lubricants and different things, rolling oils and things of that nature. And then 20 years ago, I went into the utility business. And while I was at industry, I ended up becoming an ADEM certified operator. So
what does ADEM mean?
ADEM is in Alabama Department of Environmental Management, and that covers all permitting and industry regulations and permits. I was over the permits there at Reynolds, plus ended up supervising the water plant and wastewater plant.
Okay.
As a chemical engineer. Yeah.
So why now?
Why now? Because I retired to do so. I could have kept working, even though I have reached, we'll call it Social Security age. I had a lot of energy left, and I felt like, why now is a great question, because the last 10 years I've been in Washington as far as my role as county commissioner in Colbert County. I veered away after I quit refereeing sports to use my mind a little bit more. And I saw a lot of deficiencies in our seat and things that I knew as a engineer and as a commissioner who knows a lot of permitting, EPA, roadway, anything you can think of, I've worked with. And when the politicians don't really know, or they have to get an aide to take notes, the legislator ought to be directing activities, not just being a career politician.
So District 4, you brought in a little handy dandy map, which I appreciate because it's kind of a funky district. I mean, it goes from DeKalb, Marshall County, Coleman, all the way up to Muscle Shoals and then Tuscaloosa. What are you hearing as you're traveling the district are the main things that people want you to take care of?
Well, just some of the basics as far as infrastructure, the ability to get to Huntsville from the Shoals is quite a challenge, and hopefully maybe extend 565 eventually to that in a hopefully short-term plans and get it done. Also, the infrastructure from heading from the Shoals or to Colbert, Laurel County through Franklin, Marion, all the way to Tuscaloosa can be a challenge. It's not really that safe. You don't even have cellular signals, many spots of it. We've really been left behind on the middle mile, fiber, things that should have happened way back. And District 4 really has kind of been out of the mix, in my opinion. Coleman's making it very well on the interstate with industry, some warehousing and other issues. They do a wonderful job in festivals and things they do in tourism. And Fort Payne, we got the Little River Canyon in that area, Mentone, DeSoto Park, been to all of them. My son, I don't kayak, but my son's over there every weekend in the Little River Canyon. But it's a gorgeous area. We do have beautiful natural resources that need to be highlighted. I was telling a group this morning at the Florence Tourism Office, we need a more highlighted areas that have resorts that bring national attention to these areas. Speaking on the western side, there is some, Marion County, Walker, Winston. There's very rural areas. They're smaller cities. Especially Lamar County is hurting for revenue. A lot of it has to do with population and lack of jobs. my platform too, with my knowledge in engineering and industry and the need for more energy. We need to put some of the smaller module reactors, which are small nuclear reactors, in certain transmission zones in these districts, and boost the economy while also offering better jobs in potential data centers to advance AI, which we've fallen behind on with China as far as energy production.
Why do you think those things have gotten ignored? Because you're right, especially going from Tuscaloosa all the way up to the Shoals. It's a ghost town. It's terrifying. And then the things that you miss, sometimes people don't even know all that Florence and that area has to offer because it's like this hidden jewel.
Very good question. It's a hidden jewel. The whole district's a hidden jewel. I do believe it's because our current legislator really has never lived it and traveled it and understood a real job as far as putting feet on the ground and knowing what it takes, whether I know he's legislative aspects have been somewhat geared away from textiles and even I know a little bit about the cattle industry and even the things where you introduce a bill to, if you get beef from out of the state, you cut it in Alabama, it becomes Alabama beef. That's hurt our farmers. It's hurt our cattlemen. And there's really not a lot been done. I mean, I'm a very get it right, get it done type guy. And I'm not pleased. And that's the reason I'm running.
I want to ask you real quickly about a few specific kind of national issues and your stance on those. I want to start with the funding bill that was just passed. There was a lot in there that we've talked a lot about, just, $1.3 trillion for higher education scholarships in Egypt. I mean, just weird stuff. But for funding, the funding and appropriations, kind of what's your policy? I guess I want to ask specifically regarding like foreign aid and how much we give. We give a ton of money to all these other countries. Meanwhile, our debt is just piling up. And so what's your stance on that?
Well, I believe in fiscal responsibility, and also the things that you just mentioned are out of control. The purpose is not even advantageous to Americans. And I've never even seen a budget freeze, more or less. The budget itself, the process has gotten so out of control with continuing resolutions that some of these things are thrown in as pork that they're for beneficial gain for different people, or they're organizations that do no good for the common man or woman. And so that needs to stop. I see I'm an engineer by degree. I'm optimization of things, processes, and people. I've taken many processes and optimized them, not to get rid of people, but to optimize where they go and what they do. And sometimes that is downsizing is a good thing, especially for government. You never see government downsize, and we're out of control. To me, we're out of control. We may even reach another inflationary period if we don't stop it.
Oh, wow.
What are your thoughts on our immigration problem, and what's your immigration theory, so to speak?
Well, I watched it every day during the Biden administration, and it was a complete mess. And we're seeing the results of it now. I think legal immigration is a good thing for America, but the process that they went through illegally, no one needs to be here illegally. And some of the tactics we use right now need to be cooperation between law enforcement and whether it be ICE or whomever. It needs to be more in a not adversarial way, but we've got to correct it, and we got to refine how we do things, keeping and especially the innocent people from harm's way.
Should I wait, or do we need to take a break now? Or can we?
We can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Break it now.
So, sticking with legislation nationally, what though do you have a top priority? Like, is there something that you instantly want to work on should you get to DC?
Well, somewhat. I mean, going through this process, if we're going to save America, we need election reform. And that has to do a little bit with term limits. It's gathering more and more speed, and that will be a side issue. Also, with some of the regulatory issues with NEPA, some of the things we've gotten with the EPA is a very strong priority for me. I'm all for safe drinking water and things of that nature. But what they did to make a permit limit 0 in drinking water for forever chemicals, which is not possible for most locations, all it has done is resulted in lawsuit after lawsuit. So I planned on seeing Lee Zeldin, and I plan on seeing the EPA and addressing this. And I'm actually in a couple of weeks giving a resolution to modify the way they do funding with the EPA through ADM and various agencies for environmental grants and low interest loans to water systems. I've been in about every subject matter it is. Those are two of them, but I also feel like we've got to take the red tape off of the small nuclear reactors. We need to get them in production. The permitting process, I've been involved with it. It's we got to get, some of them are still working at home. They need to come out and work on them simultaneously or in consecutive order in order to get them done. And there needs to be deadlines on when you can put off a project, such as some of the reviews are they're just lagging and it's not beneficial to any progress. But those are main things I'll be working on. One of the things I'll work on immediately too is potentially some upgrades with ADM and recycling and some things some hidden gems that we've got out there. We're number, I think, 4th from the bottom in recycling in the United States. And there's ways to do better that. Our big industry, Novelis, Constellium, used to be Reynolds, Alcoa, Essity, which is paper, and the other ones I just mentioned was aluminum. We can do better in all those areas and create jobs by cleaning up our area. That's another pet peeve of mine. The right-of-ways, I'm going to be on the state agencies to make sure these trash along the roadways, whatever means necessary, we need to clean up our state. It looks horrible. It's in many places. And the places that do good are generally the places that have pride in what they do.
I can't stand litter bugs.
Right.
Like if I see
So
people
wrong.
throw trash out the window, I absolutely judge you. You're just not a good person. Like you you got like 2 more miles, I bet.
Yeah.
Just take it. I don't get it.
Yeah, just put it on the side of your door.
Yeah, I
and
don't
wait to throw it away. It's gross.
You gotta make it my problem.
It's gross.
Well, that's one thing we did in Colbert County. We actually hired a litter crew, and it's to feed those jobs into better jobs. And we've made wonderful inroads in right-of-way maintenance, road maintenance, and that's what the people you hear about a lot. Why do we have so many potholes? Why do we not know how?
Yeah.
You know, we have a government now, people that aren't trained. It's a problem in law enforcement too. We had $5 million worth of lawsuits against us because of a jail that wasn't run right. But we elected a new person, and guess what? We don't have any lawsuits right now. So things are really better. But I think accountability needs to be there. And I think the Photoshops just for taking pictures for political gain is not the answer. People know who's working and who's not.
Yes.
But we've been deceived by career politicians, both state and national. And I think someone like me opens a fresh idea. Yeah, I'm a little older, but I'm in pretty good shape. I still play in the alumni baseball game, do whatever I want to do, and usually do a day or two of therapy afterwards, but I'm great. But I love golf. I love sports. I love hiking, anything. I think I taught T-ball with young kids over 4 decades. And, which over periods of time of that. And so doing that, I've got the energy and the love of this country and people to continue. If not, I would have just kept working and making a whole lot more money.
Yeah.
But I'm not in it for the money.
I don't know. It seems like Congress is a great place to go to make a ton.
Yeah. Just ask Maxine Waters.
Yeah. And, it's on both sides. I hate to say
Yeah,
it.
It is.
It is.
And it's worse on one than the other. But some of the subsidies that have been achieved too should have never happened. I remember back in the development days of fertilizers and things that I was doing, most of them farmers back then, and they still echo this. I wish the government would leave us alone. And so I think that's part of our problem.
You sound very in touch with the people, like with knowing what's going on in your district. I mean, it's refreshing to hear because a lot of politicians, especially in Washington, they talk Washington things, and you've gotten down to talking about right-of-ways and litter pickup, which I appreciate. But we've got to take a break before we do, and I just want to thank you for being here. How can people find out more about your campaign?
Well, the best way right now is my Facebook page, Tommy Barnes for U.S. Congress, and that'll find me and share it. And we got to reach out to the whole district to let people find out more about me.
Yep. Yeah. And it's Barnes, Barnes. There you go. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am looking to see if we can find anything. Have you guys seen anything as we're following the story of Savannah Guthrie's mom?
Yeah, they put out Savannah and her siblings put out a video last night, and it was kind of weird to watch because it's so scripted. I guess they're asking for proof of life because, and I hadn't ever thought about this, in 2026, everything's AI. So they can send you a video of your mom, but is it really a video of your mom? I don't even know how you do that. But they were reading from a script, which is, I guess, what you have to do. Everything is very laid out. They don't really have any leads. It's a really weird, like, why her? Somebody was saying that obviously somebody had been stalking and following her, but why her?
And what about the Bitcoin ransom?
Yeah,
That's
I don't
all
know.
weird.
I don't know. I think they somehow knew it was her mom and lived near enough. I don't know. I guess they just were able to connect the dots of whose mom she was and knew that Savannah had a lot of money.
Does she though?
Savannah?
I mean, I can think of a lot of richer people.
Well, I mean, but if you're somebody that lives right where, like, that's, I don't know, they could have just lived right there and been able to do something like that.
So that part of Tucson is very well to do. So I think they also had high powered jobs, it looks like.
Yeah.
Who's they?
Savannah's mom. I'll tell you, somebody went down the rabbit hole of what they did.
What her family?
Her family
okay.
may or may
so
not
like
have
everybody
been.
may have known the family has a lot of money.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
They may or may not have been fixers in the business.
What does that mean?
I'll tell you.
Can you tell us, like, on air?
Yeah, I can.
Oh.
But what's
What's a
interesting
fixer?
is, yes, it looks like the whole Guthrie family did okay, and somebody knew about it because I know where they live. Been in that area before. It's really nice. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, I feel like there's more to this story.
I am so sad for them. I hope she's okay.
How many days has it been?
5.
I know, but we're up against a break.
Oh, we got to go to break. We'll be back.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. We are Rightside Radio. Before we talk about Trump and his softer touch, I have a confession to make. What? What?
Sorry. Keep going.
That's funny.
All right, listen. I know it's not supper time. It's not even lunchtime. It's lupper. And I'm hungry. And do you guys out there have a family group chat?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we reserve the group chat for funnies, for verse, whatever. We reserve it for all the things that y'all reserve yours for. I may or may not, there's a bakery closing in Homewood, Alabama. And I may or may not have put an SOS on the family chat that I said SOS. And then one of my daughters immediately put back question mark, question mark, question mark. And then I said, we need to order as many baked goods as possible from Savages before they close next week. My family did not appreciate that. My husband was like, I thought somebody was hurt or dead.
Yeah. You got to save
sorry.
the SOS.
Yeah.
I don't know if Savages is worth it.
It is. Their cake is divine.
Abs used the SOS with me about Lieutenant being spelled wrong, and it was spelled right the whole time.
I was panicked because somebody else was panicked, and I felt the panic, and I panicked. I don't normally panic.
I was just sitting there staring, going, that's how I would have spelled it. But I'm a terrible speller. So I just went along with it. Yeah. Savage's closing is not, if you've ever been to Homewood, Alabama, it's a staple. And apparently the mother and the daughter in a little tiff about wages or something. There's a line outside. Oh,
Chris took a picture for us so we could see it.
Yeah, like the mother and the daughter that own Savages are suing each other. Like such a Karen
Get along.
thing to do.
We want cake.
It's been there 87 years.
Do you
Is
want to
there
buy
a place like I can't. I can barely keep up with y'all here. There's no way I could do cakes too.
All right.
But is there a place like that in Huntsville, like that people would? Can you think it or Madison? Is there a bakery or a restaurant? It's just a staple.
There was one on South Huntsville that was called is it Gibson's Barbecue?
Yes.
That my grandfather, Phil Williams Sr., would go for breakfast every day. When he walked in, they knew what he wanted and when up and have him there. And it actually burned down from a fire not too long ago. But that was one I would think of a local staple like that.
Is it like Big Bob Gibson's
white barbecue sauce?
Maybe it wasn't Gibson's. Maybe somebody tell the correct name for it. I believe it was Gibson's, but yeah.
But was it the white barbecue sauce place?
I think so. He took us there a couple of times. Another one, Paul from Huntsville saying Greenbrier Barbecue is another one. Yeah, in Huntsville.
Sounds good. Anyway, I have a picture from my husband. Apparently, he's next door getting coffee at Santos, having a meeting. I'm upset I'm not there. Like, hey, honey, please go buy me some cupcakes.
You're having way more fun though.
Anyway, so we want to talk about, thank you for allowing me that little venture into Foodland. But Trump, what do
wait. You have to tell me what a fixer is.
Okay. So a fixer,
because we were talking about Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, who has gone missing, and they're putting out apparently ransom notes, and they're trying to decide if they're going to pay. And we were asking why this is happening, and you said her family may be involved as fixers. I don't know what that is.
So I don't know, and I will go back and see if it was the mom or the family, because Savannah Guthrie's husband was embedded in the Clinton White House. So somebody in there allegedly is involved in making sure only positive information goes out about, let's say, the Clintons or Democrats. You know how no negative information no bad smells hang around about certain very powerful people? That's because they have a fixer in their life that goes behind and makes sure nothing negative is said, or if it is, it gets scrubbed. That's what fixers do.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
So they have political ties.
They have political ties that run deep. We don't know if that has anything to do with anything, or It's that she's in Pima County in the Catalina foothills, which is in a beautiful part of Tucson, in a multi-million-dollar mansion. And these are what kidnappers look for, is one person at home, an elderly woman worth a lot of money. Let's go get her. I hope that it is that simple and it's not deeper than that. But those are some allegations out there. Definitely Savannah's husband was embedded in the White House, in the Clinton White House. That we know for sure. The rest of it, no one knows. Except that it's weird, and we pray it doesn't turn tragic.
They said Nancy was out to eat with Savannah's sister that night, and they played mahjong. I thought she was a bingo player, but I guess it's mahjong.
I can't imagine being in that position. I mean, because she was about the age of my Granny Ram, you know, and I'm thinking if she was just taken,
oh gosh,
like what?
Yeah,
I can't even imagine the awful. I mean, what they're going through. I saw Trump. I think he put up a truth saying that he was going to send federal agents into Arizona to help find Savannah's mother. So it is a weird story.
It's just like, why? Like, yes, great. But would we get that treatment if we were missing?
No, that's exactly like if Granny Ram goes missing, is Trump sending federal agents?
No.
And Savannah's not nice to Trump. So that says something about Trump. I mean, she hates him. So good on him for being a bigger person. But if Granny Ram goes missing, I'm going to need Trump to go get her.
I will pick up I'll say, Phil Williams, I need you to get on the phone with Todd Blanche or Pam Bondi to get on the phone with Trump. And
He could.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even imagine. But this whole thing.
Something's weird. I will say that.
It's like the morning fog and you can't see. And then the sun burst. And so we pray for that to happen. But right now it's very foggy.
It's very weird.
So strange. So now on to what Trump is doing or not. So he said that he's going to take a softer touch. That's what he's learned from Minneapolis. What are your thoughts?
Do you have a longer clip of that?
I pulled the 20-second clip again if you wanted to play of Trump being asked by the reporter what he learned in Minneapolis.
Yeah, because actually is that where he said we're only going into places that say please?
No, that was a separate clip.
Okay.
I can pull that one too if you like. But here's the clip of Trump talking about how what he learned from Minneapolis moving forward with mass deportations.
Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. These are criminals. We're dealing with really hard criminals. But look, I've called the people. I've called the governor. I've called the mayor, spoke to them, had great conversations with them. And then I see them ranting and raving out there, literally as though a call wasn't made.
He's so smart, yet a little moronic. Because it's almost like he got played. That's what I'm thinking. And Trump doesn't get played. But what did you think? Yeah, you have a great call. You think it's all going to go great and they're going to do what you said. Are you surprised they hate you? They don't want you to be any part of this solution. So softer touch, I don't even know. I mean, am I bad that I'm like, no, that's the last thing we need?
No, I agree with you. Did we vote for softer touch?
I think we voted for things to happen and for illegal immigrants to be out. And I don't think that happens with soft touching.
No, it doesn't. Can you imagine the commercial if he had to run again? Donald Trump, soft touch.
Soft touch, Donald.
I mean, ew. No, that's not what we voted for, especially when you look at the fraud just in one place to come out of Minneapolis and your response after the fraud, after the exposure, after knowing there's so much more across the country, your response is, we're going to have I learned about a softer touch.
Yeah.
No, that we did not vote for that man. I'd like the other Donald to come back, please.
So who's in his ear?
Susie Wiles.
Yeah, I think she's one of them. There was a report from, I believe it was Axios, that said, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it would kind of make sense, that apparently Stephen Miller is the one really, really, really pushing hard for the blanket mass deportations, and Homan is wanting to focus on the criminal illegal aliens. So I don't know. This is what I was afraid of, because, with all the protests in Minneapolis and the Renee Good situation, and then Preddy, who was shot by ICE as well, it looks awful. And I think whoever in the administration who is prioritizing optics right now to win the midterms is just, it's adding up. But I hate we're focusing on criminal illegal aliens. They need to go, but so do all of them. I don't know. It's frustrating, although I'm not that surprised. I think Trump is a transactional person. I think he genuinely wants to get them out. However, is he willing to really, really bear down and go through how awful it's going to look with, the situations in Minneapolis and such, to get them all out while it looks like the Republicans aren't going to win the midterms? I think that's a transaction. He'll go, look, we'll work with Walsh. We'll work with the governors and mayors. And if you ask us to come in, we'll come in and remove the criminal illegal aliens from your, state. But am I willing to go to war with Tim Walsh and Newsom and the mayors of Portland to get all of the illegal aliens out and deal with the protesters getting shot? I don't think he's willing to go through that. So,
and that's where we get Trump on his heels, because the thing the man has that most of Washington, D.C. doesn't, he has great political instincts. And he says things way before anybody else is ready to listen or believe. And then what he says is right. So Trump on his heels, soft touch DJT, and this one gets Donald John Quavius Trump, is he needs to rethink it. We want to go back to Donald John, good instinct Trump, to completely ignore the soft touch. This is garbage. You're leaving people in the dust. But what I'd like to do we have the clip of Obama and Clinton talking about all the illegals and the criminal illegals that they were deporting and their thoughts on that?
We can play it on the other side if you want.
I would like to play it on the other side, and I would like to continue playing it through the midterms. Even though I'm not for this new version of Trump, I do think we need to remind people what the Obamas and the Clintons said, just so that they can stop whining about immigration, because the Democrats feel exactly the same way Republicans do if they're honest, and we need to keep them honest.
My last thought on Trump is that, so he's basically saying, you know what, there's a federal law and you're breaking the federal law, but we're going to let you break the federal law because you didn't ask us and say, please. Like, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Either there are laws or there aren't, and you don't get to selectively decide which ones you feel like enforcing or not. Nobody should die. But you know what? Hey, if you get out of the street and just let ICE go in and get the pedophile, you're probably not going to die. And if you do, it's a real accident, and we'll make it right or whatever. Like I can't imagine any world, if you don't put yourself in front of these officers, if you don't attack them and don't have a gun on them and you aren't blocking roads or driving cars over them, what other scenario would this not go well for you unless you're a pedophile? Which, by the way, we were watching the news the other night. I can't remember what it was. It was somebody like right under Kristi Noem. She was really pretty too. Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty little side of the government. But the whole time she was talking, they were just playing all the illegal immigrants. And this was just in Massachusetts. It was like the Boston area, and all the things that they were convicted and accused of. It was horrendous to watch. It didn't end. I mean, faces and faces and faces of sexual assault, of sodomy, of, like things you can't even talk about. These are the people that they're out there trying to get. And then we're the bad guys for going after them.
I'll just say one last piece. What this was communist protesters fought the federal government in Minneapolis and won. Because 700 federal agents are now being pulled out of Minneapolis. And they're framing it as, well, we're pulling them out because Minneapolis has agreed to cooperate from here on out. Sure. Let's see how that works.
Yeah.
Oh, like they've been doing this whole time.
Yep.
So
I'm with you. All right, let's take a break and then play Obama,
Yeah.
Clinton,
Reminder.
their own words against them. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver. She's Allison Sinclair. And he's JP. So before we roll into the 4 o'clock hour and we take a plunge into the trans volleyball athlete and play a clip of that story for you, just by way of refresher, we have this little delightful dandy, also by way of refresher, in case people in your life are complaining about immigration and Trump's response. I found this dandy yesterday and thought maybe you'd like it too.
There are those in the immigrants' rights community who have argued passionately that we should simply provide those who are illegally with legal status, or at least ignore the laws on the books and put an end to deportation until we have better laws. And often this argument is framed in moral terms. Why should we punish people who are just trying to earn a living? I recognize the sense of compassion that drives this argument. But I believe such an indiscriminate approach would be both unwise and unfair. It would suggest to those thinking about coming here illegally that there will be no repercussions for such a decision. And this could lead to a surge in more illegal immigration. And it would also ignore the millions of people around the world who are waiting in line to come here legally. Ultimately, our nation, like all nations, has the right and obligation to control its borders and set laws for residency and citizenship. And no matter how decent they are, no matter their reasons, the 11 million who broke these laws should be held accountable.
I ain't never heard that before. And I need to hear it again. What in the world? When was that?
2010.
Yeah.
Before he got the directive to say the opposite of that.
Yes, which, was what communists do.
So which is the real one?
That's the real one. That's really what he thinks.
I mean, that needs to be on repeat.
Well, I figure that's something we can play in breaks as well,
Yeah,
JP.
can we play that?
I've got the montage of Obama, Clinton, and Hillary Clinton saying the same thing in different ways. It's a little bit longer. But I found that and I was like, I wonder what changed.
Hey, can we do stuff like that during the break?
We can, yeah. It's our show.
Can we play Clown World during the break?
We could.
Yeah.
We're just coming up with lots of ideas.
Can I just say,
Yes, sir.
the way Obama speaks is so amazing to me. The breaks in between everything he says.
That's pretty good, JP.
It's remarkable. It works though, because every time he stops, I'm like, what are you gonna say next?
He's speaking in sprints and then the pause.
Yeah, it's good.
Until he says, I tink.
Oh, is that what made you laugh
Yeah,
at that?
I sorry. I don't know why. I tink instead of think. Okay, so the plunge, talking about the transgender Title IX stuff. I have a little update on gambling. If anybody cares, might get gambling. I don't think it's a top priority for any Alabamian, but I could be wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. We'll go over that and much more. We'll be right back.
Y'all have heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles.
Paul and his team are experts on what they call biblically responsible investing. And for a limited time, they're hosting a free class that you can register for.
Check out the class and register for free at moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, and it's financial freedom.
Again, go to Inspire Advisors at moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out and tell them you heard about them at Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, rolling into the 4 o'clock hour. And it is time for our weekly deep dive into a subject that perhaps has caught our attention. This one caught mine because I didn't know there was more to the story. And the young woman in the story tells what had happened to her, but then adds on stuff we didn't know before. We would love to know what you think about this and what you think should be done, because apparently this is still going on, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know how to completely shut this down, even though courts are making rulings, even though they're shutting down trans clinics. Thank God for that. Or hospitals, and the pediatricians aren't going to support this anymore. But how did we get here in the first place?
Wait.
With the San Jose State University volleyball player, the lawsuit that she's won. But when it comes to transgender and athletics, it's not quite gone away yet. Truly. So how do we solve this problem? But more than that, when you hear this girl's story, you think, where were the men?
Yep.
We've asked this from the beginning.
Yeah.
But like, where were the men? Because her school's athletic director didn't even bother to answer questions about her or about this case. So you'll hear it now in the Fox News clip. It explains everything.
We're talking about your former teammate Blair Fleming, a trans athlete who's a biological male, met with an opposing player, right, at Colorado State to get the player to spike the ball in your face. And then you talked about that a little bit. And now you have more information. What can you tell us?
It's a situation that I thought the worst of it was having to share a team in a locker room with a man. And then to find out that he's basically trying to harm me physically on the court because he's not happy with me disagreeing with his decision to play on a women's volleyball team, put me in harm's way more than I thought I had to worry about, not just in my safe spaces, but while I'm just trying to live my life day to day. And so hearing that these things were going on, and even just on the basis of sharing scouting reports, a player should be kicked off the team. And the fact that that even was just swept under the rug and said it wasn't a big deal shows that there's apparent bias in the situation.
Okay, so Brooke, and welcome back to you. This is the athletic director, the San Jose State athletic director, Jeff Kanya, standing up, walking away during questions when asked about your claims. Watch.
The Trump administration has launched an investigation into your university over this matter. Are you willing to cooperate and make similar concessions that the University of Pennsylvania?
That's not my decision. Currently, it's in litigation.
When this investigation started, what?
Okay, I'm done.
Were you aware of any? Were you aware of any evidence?
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done. Stands up and walks away. What was your reaction to that?
I mean, after watching the entire video, you see that he had no knowledge on the entire situation. They were asking him questions about what was going on, how they pursued the investigation, and he actually had no idea what even happened during that time and had no knowledge of how they had pursued that investigation and who they interviewed and what was said and any of the facts that they say they didn't get to say there was sufficient evidence. So I just think he was put in a corner because he didn't know any of the information. And as an AD, you should know everything that goes on if there's a Title IX investigation at your school.
And that's my question, Brooke. I mean, if the athletic director doesn't know what's going on, maybe it's time for some outside eyeballs to take a look at this.
Exactly. And that's what I said in the past was they didn't even bring in anyone to take a look at film that actually has knowledge of the game. They hired a law firm that was already in a lawsuit against something that I am fighting for, and they're against me. And obviously coming in have apparent bias towards the other side and not what I'm trying to do. And then they don't even bring in someone to look at film. They just go by what everyone else has to say and decide to believe the few people that obviously aren't going to tell the truth in this situation because they know they would get into big trouble.
Well, Riley Gaines.
So the trans athlete conspired with another player to spike the ball so that it would hit Brooke in the face. Like, I thought it was bad enough that they allowed a trans athlete on the team at all. Yeah. And this was a deal that Allison and I paid attention to because we were together on our other show, and Scott's daughter played for Nebraska. And if San Jose State University had won, there was a chance that their paths might have crossed. They didn't, because Nebraska beats everybody. But this is what they were conspiring to do. And the school didn't even bother to try to help her.
Why do you think that is? I mean, is there something we're missing? Is she like a problem child? Has she been an issue on the team? Or are they that progressive and just in on the agenda? Like, I thought schools were supposed to be balanced and represent every student. Yeah, I guess it's one thing, even if, I mean, the whole Title IX transgender stuff, that's just bizarre and it's wrong. Okay, but even if you are for that and say that's okay, let's for a minute just say that's okay. Is it okay for teammates to be conspiring to injure other teammates, transgender or not? Like, there's so many issues here. And then to not have an understanding of what's going on with your team when you're under federal investigation. It's almost like there's something more here. And was that the AD or the coach?
That was the AD.
Okay, well, I can't say what I want to say, but he might have his own issues.
Yeah.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm with you, Sinclair.
Okay. You got it?
I just think he was a munch.
Well,
and I don't know that all ADs are that uninformed about their players. They know everything that's going on because of compliance. It is a pain in the rear to deal with all the compliance issues for college athletes. So there's that. But what a jerk.
Yeah.
What an absolute jerk. But obviously I'm missing the thing y'all are picking up about the man.
I guess I can just say that I think he might be part of their community.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
allegedly.
I mean, I don't know, but just watching him, his mannerisms and the way he talked and the way he looks, I just wonder. But I don't know. It's the first time I've ever seen the guy.
Yeah.
I bet he wears those like tight, high Russell athletic shorts. Remember that our coaches used to wear back in the day? Anyway.
Well,
one ugly guy in some knee-high socks. Blech.
So we're talking about this story that took place, I guess, a year and a half ago during the fall of 2024. And it looks like the Trump administration has just granted that the school, San Jose State, did indeed violate Title IX with this story of letting transgender Blair Fleming not only play volleyball, but like they were talking about, trying to injure his teammates. It's just it infuriates me talking, watching the video about the AD, and he can't even sit there and take the criticism because Brooke Slusser's parents are entrusting you with their daughter. They're sending their daughter away to go play volleyball for your program and your university. They are entrusting you to protect their daughter. And not only do you allow Blair Fleming to go into the locker rooms with her and be around her, but just because Brooke Slusser spoke out and endured all of the attacks for sticking up for herself and having to then worry about Blair Fleming texting with, and here's the other part. Apparently Blair Fleming left the team hotel and went and met with players on the other team about injuring Brooke Slusser. So she's sticking up for herself and doing the job that Jeff Kanya should be doing, enduring an eating disorder, losing 40-something pounds in a semester because of the psychological attacks and the lawsuits she's having to go through. And you can't even sit there and listen to someone question you. You're a spineless coward. And that it's men like Jeff Kanya that allow girls to be in a situation that they're in. Because like I said, Brooke Slusser had to endure all of the attacks for doing Jeff Kanya's job for him. And he doesn't even have the gumballs to sit and listen to somebody question him. It's ridiculous. But it's just, once again, another example of soft, weak men allowing girls to be endangered that allows stuff like this to happen. And you are the AD. It's your literal job to protect the players and the athletes under you.
So when does this end?
Yeah, I thought it'd be over by now.
Well,
right?
Yeah, I just
It's
thought
exhausting
this would
to
get
even
old.
consider it, and yet it still goes on.
Rulings like today or whenever this was, I think it may have been yesterday, where San Jose State was found of violating Title IX. I think that adds some teeth to it. I don't know what San Jose State's punishment is and what they'll have to fork up, but I guarantee you when schools start to feel it in their pockets, they'll start to change.
I hope it's more than a $200 insider trading fee.
That was good. That was good.
It's got to be more painful than that.
It does have to be more painful than that. But we're all over it. You're right, JP. We're here because men didn't do anything. But now and the reason I bring it up is because it ties back into an earlier story talking about what's happening in Minneapolis, and some protesters are saying they don't feel safe to go out and get their HRT because they're illegal. Like, it's still here. It just moves. It's an amoeba, and it's just going to move wherever it can and find space. But bravo to this young woman for fighting back and fighting for her life. But how pathetic for this man not to even bother to speak up for one of his athletes.
Yeah, and I'm with you though. Where are the dads? Where are the men? It just should never get to this point. I mean, even if it's not your player that's being targeted, you're not, like, pull your kid off, like, stand for something.
Exactly.
If everybody walks away and says, we're not playing, I bet things change, but nobody has the guts to do it because parents are spending thousands of dollars. Gosh, I saw this one story the other day where a parent on like 12-year-old baseball was spending $16,000 a year on 12-year-old travel ball. Personal chefs, team expenses. They bought an RV. I'm like, what are we doing? It is bonkers. But that's where, and it stinks because you get to the college level, you make it. What, are you going to throw it all away? I mean, at some point, though, you have to stand for something.
Can I just say a quick personal tidbit about this story, which is funny?
Yes.
So when I was doing my sports podcast with Rightside, I did one episode on this. And okay, well, first of all, the full podcast was liked and retweeted by Brooke and her parents on Twitter. But this was the part that was crazy to me. I made a quick short calling out Blair Fleming and him being a coward and him conspiring to attack or, have the other team attack Brooke Slusser. And I put it up on Instagram. He accidentally liked it.
What?
Because
no,
I get the right side notifications on my phone, and I saw Blair Fleming liked your post, and I went back and went in the likes, and he had unliked it, so he saw it.
That's awesome.
Well done, JP.
I hope you roasted him.
Good job.
I can't remember what I said, but yeah,
what is Blair his
no, I don't
boy
know
name too? We need to find
Probably
it out.
Blake.
No, I don't know his actual name, but yeah.
Well, Blair can go either way.
Yeah, we need you to find out his name. It's probably like John.
Lame-o. All right, let's take a break, and maybe we have some text on the other side. We'll get to that, and then some more news at 4:30.
Yep,
we'll be right back.
to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP. So we have text, and then we'll do some breaking news and just news at 4:30, and then finish the day like always with Would You Rather. But first, your texts.
Okay, well, first, I know Blair Fleming's real name. Do you want to
Yes.
take one more guess? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a B.
Brad.
Barry.
Braden Fleming.
Braden.
He transitioned at 14.
Boy, you feel bad for his parents as well. What a terrible choice.
Which, by the way, his arms are still jacked. It's pretty obvious. He's just got long hair and puts makeup on, but it's pretty clear just looking at him. And just watch the videos of him like spiking and like.
Does somebody have to die? Is that what's going to shut this all down?
I hope not.
It's a horrible thought, but I'm asking. Okay. Sorry.
By the way, Matthew from Trinity texted in. Allison last segment said that the name Blair can go either way, but Matthew said, quote, Blair can go either way. Pun intended, question mark.
I wish I could claim it, but I didn't even know what I was saying. But yes, Blair goes both ways.
Talking about the Trump gentle touch statement. John from Cleveland, Tennessee says, I believe Trump is using the phrase a gentler touch to get the independence back. I agree. While polls show that he's still above water on overall immigration, they don't like the tactics, especially independence. Noam wanted to go after everyone approach, while Homan wanted to grab the bad ones first. If they do that and crimes continue to go down, his polls will go up.
Why does it matter how Trump polls?
Because I understand it from this aspect. If Republicans lose the House, there every week will be an impeachment vote on Trump, and nothing will get done. So I understand that aspect of it, but I think our nation's sovereignty and getting everyone out is way, way, way more important than the midterms. But.
So it's not that because he can't run for anything again. So it's not that Trump is afraid he won't get reelected. It's just the midterms for everybody else and losing the House. But I mean, don't you think that equally the other side is important, like keeping your base, your true supporters that got you into office again based on your campaign that said you were going to do mass deportations and reclaim America? Is he not worried about losing that side? Because we have nowhere to go. Is that what you're saying?
I guess. I mean, I don't think they see that aspect of it. I think they're worried about the middle independent crowd, and they shouldn't be. Let's see if we can get one more here. Keith from Huntsville says, I think the elected officials in Minnesota, as well as other states and cities, is in on the fraud. No doubt about it. That's why they're pushing back so hard on things that are obviously not true. The car hit the ICE agent and even drugged the other agent back and forth. So that was obviously justified use of deadly force. But leadership is on camera pushing a narrative because they have an agenda and covering up their corruption.
That's right.
100%. It's becoming obvious. All right. On the other side, got some news and more news. We'll be back.
JP here with Rightside. I need to remind you that Inspired Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. We know this audience, and you're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles and being good stewards of your resources. What if the companies you're invested in don't reflect your values at all? That's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspired Advisors. Inspired Advisors, they are experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. They can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspired Advisors, you got to go check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio, where it's a joy to sit next to Allison Sinclair because her facial expressions tell you all you need to know. So what we'll do is take a tour of some things in the headlines and also a little bit of Alabama news because, surprise, gambling's back, which is exhausting. We've been trying to vote for this since I was in college, and I'm over it. Anywho, so we came across some information, and I don't know if this is where you want to go first, ma'am.
I'm obviously not paying attention, so just tell me what to do.
Okay. So why do we do gambling?
Okay.
And then after we talk about gambling, there's another good story. I found it in Yellowhammer.
Wait, I got another story. Do we just want to do the 3? Because I got another story to talk about.
Can you play the 3? Thank you. All right. So, Allison or JP, whoever puts their hand up the fastest is okay. Go ahead, Allison.
I need to get because I need everybody to get out their phones.
Okay. Phones out. Unless you're driving.
Not y'all.
Unless you're
listeners.
Okay.
And the viewers. What's the number to text?
833-687-4448.
I need everyone that's listening to text in and tell me if gambling or a lottery is your number one. Okay, let's go top 3 priorities for how to make Alabama great. I just want to know. Just a yes or no. Yes or no answer to JP.
So yes, if you think gambling's a top 3 priority. No, if you don't.
Not think if it is for you. Okay. If you're like, look, I am not voting for that person if they do not tell me that they are for a lottery and or casino gambling. Forget everything else they believe. That is my top 3. You're a loser if you aren't into gambling and loitering.
We're gonna count up all of our texts and see which side wins.
Which side wins? Okay. So Marika Coleman, who's a senator, from Birmingham, has filed Senate Bill 257, and it's a constitutional amendment that would establish. I'm reading this from Yellowhammer. It's an article by Sawyer Knowles. It would establish a statewide lottery and legalize in-person casino-style games and in-person and online sports wagering. So it goes on to say this would require a supermajority in the legislature.
Okay.
This bill would also establish a commission in the executive branch to license and regulate gaming activities. The legislature would decide membership and powers of the commission, and also establish a law enforcement division within the commission to police any unlawful gaming activity. It also gives the governor, which would be, in theory, Tommy Tuberville, the authority to negotiate a tribal state compact with the Porch Band of Creek Indians for the operation and regulation of Class 3 games and sport wagering on lands held by them. So this is the whole kit and caboodle. This is everything. Everything. This is a lot like the 2024 bill that we saw that was lost in the Senate by one little vote. This is almost exactly like it. And she's bringing it back. Now, we were promised at the beginning of session that this session was going to be really boring. Not any controversial bills. That's why they can't get the porn out of the libraries this year, because that's controversial.
Bless it.
Think about that. To the supermajority Republican legislature, that is controversial. So nobody really thought gambling was coming, but Marika's dropped it. Marika, like we're best friends. Senator Coleman has dropped it, and it's out there now. So they're going to have to discuss it. My question is, I mean, I hate reading a lot of this. The bill would also establish a commission.
Oh, come on. There's that stupid word,
commission. Government oversight. Let's expand government. And then it would have law enforcement attached to it. Because we don't have law enforcement to enforce gaming rules right now, do we? No. It's bigger government. The government wants its hands in everything. And I go back to what Scott Beeson, apparently he taught me a lot. But he used to say, if you want to do gambling, If you want to, he's not for it. But if you want to do gambling, just go back to the Constitution and take out no game of chance. Whatever that line is.
Mm-hmm.
And then let the free market decide. Alabama government, keep your hands out of it.
They cannot help themselves.
They cannot help it. They have to make their money off the backs of hardworking people that sit at slot machines for hours on end. So I don't know. I am not a fan of casino gambling. I am not for a lottery. I don't want any of it. Y'all can disagree with me. That's fine. But I'm just curious how many people this is actually like their top issue, because you heard Tommy Tuberville come out just maybe 2 weeks ago and say, I think the people need to vote on it. My goodness, we voted on it like 9 million times and we've said no every time. Like, what do you need?
I did stories on gambling when I did stuff for API.
Yeah. And that was like,
this is forever ago. This is ridiculous. This is just another side hustle for people who are elected and for the government to go, oh, we have one more job to do. No.
And there's the other part in there that the governor can negotiate with the Porch Creek Indians and give them their own special little whatever, because they're entitled to.
Oh, we're on the same Yellowhammer website. Yeah, yes, sir.
They're entitled to their special treatment.
Would you like the results of the listener poll?
Yes, please.
We're already done.
Well, as of right now.
Okay, where do we stand?
We got 8 no's, 2 I don't cares, and 1 yes. The 1 yes said, yes, but there should be some state-run and owned casinos. Oh, here's another no. 9 no's.
9 no's. Okay.
All right. Keep them coming in. We are going to submit this to the Senate Pro Tem Garland Gudja.
That's good.
And I'm going to send it to him and be like, we did a very serious poll and you need to pay attention to this. Nobody cares. Like, can you afford gas? Can you afford food? Y'all, by the way, okay, now I'm getting fired up. The Democrats just dropped a bill. God, I wish I had it. I didn't plan on talking about this today. To do away with sales tax on food.
The Democrats did that?
Yeah. Where are the Republicans?
Thank you, Democrats. We're not joking.
Yeah. It's just like Anthony Daniels, the minority leader, was the one that introduced the bill to
cut the grocery
tax, and Republicans killed it.
Okay, listen.
And the overtime tax, too.
We are for that. Please keep that up. Can I share another Yellowhammer story with you?
I would love for
I'm
you to
very
share a
happy with.
Yellowhammer
We want to
story.
say another bravo to our leaders. Alabama lawmakers issue final passage to Child Predator Death Penalty Act. They've sent the bill to Governor Ivey. I think we are all for this, but they passed it in a vote, 33 to 1 vote on Thursday, sending the Child Predator Death Penalty Act to Governor Kay Ivey. The bill passed in the House earlier this session. What does this do? Well, it permits prosecutors to seek capital punishment in the case of first-degree rape or sodomy involving victims under the age of 12. Matt Simpson sponsored it in the House, and April Weaver carried it in the Senate.
Who was the one person that voted against it?
I'm not going to say.
I'll find the roll call.
I think it was a Democrat I heard last week, but I could be wrong. We'll check that out. Thank you for passing this. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
I
wonder what the vote was in the House.
Yeah.
I know one Democrat, I think it was Smitherman, had an issue. He was like, as long as it wasn't automatic, it was just an option to have the death penalty, which I guess that's fine. But come on, you're raping kids.
You don't get
probably
to,
just need to
you
go.
need to be unalived if you have done this, and we have
publicly
proof. Publicly unalived. I'm for that. Oh, we've never had this discussion before. Let's have it tomorrow at sometime.
Oh, when you said have it tomorrow, I thought you meant the actual. I was like, who are we killing? What?
No.
Like, have the discussion.
Yes, different
jousting,
forms
not
of
jousting.
public death that we should bring back. Once somebody has been convicted, evidence obvious, convicted, or even confessed, what things do you think we should bring back that were
Firing
very
squad. I think that's still a thing, though.
Allison, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Don't tell
Don't
me
say
yet.
it now.
Think of your answers, everybody. We're going to discuss this tomorrow. Okay, JP.
Oh, what about when they stretch you on the thing?
Allison.
Okay. Okay.
Bless her.
By the way, updated poll. We're up to 11 no's. We got one more yes. And the yes says, not only do I want all gambling, parentheses, made my weekly trip to Tennessee today, but just think of all the sweet deals you can get from problem gamblers selling their stuff to finance their habit.
At least they're honest.
Okay, that's
Appreciate
exactly
the
what I was
honesty.
going to say. Like, at least they're honest about it.
Yeah.
So we can get a really cheap toaster.
That we can.
Yeah.
Okay. My story is completely unrelated and not state related.
Okay.
So, but it's
Boo.
okay. Well, then we could just go.
No, do it.
Shame.
It's just if you allow me to indulge, okay.
Okay.
Do we usually not?
I don't know. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia is filing a bill to strip Robert E. Lee's name from the Arlington house at Arlington Cemetery.
That was his house. That was his family home.
So Senator Tim Kaine said the names on Twitter, he said, or X, the names of our national sites should honor individuals whom we can all look up to. I introduced legislation to remove Confederate General Robert E. Lee's name from Arlington House and restore its original title. So if y'all don't know the history of Arlington Cemetery, it was Robert E. Lee's house. It actually wasn't just Robert E. Lee's house. It was his wife, who was George Washington Custis Lee. It was their house. It was the family's house. George Washington's granddaughter, who married Robert E. Lee. It was that family's house. And when Robert E. Lee decided to go and fight for the Confederacy, he obviously, went and left his house to go do that. And the federal government seized the house so that he wouldn't return. And then, just to put a cherry on top, started burying dead Union soldiers in Lee's front yard. I think it was either Grant or Lincoln that said, just bury him in Lee's front yard so you won't return. So that's where the cemetery, tradition started there. What's funny is in 1882, so after the war, about 20 or a little less than 20 years after the war, Robert E. Lee's son actually took it to the Supreme Court that the home was illegally seized and that in Lee's will, his son was the rightful owner of the home. And the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in favor of Robert E. Lee's son to return the home to Lee's family. And then Robert E. Lee's son then sold it back to the federal government. So in other words, the Supreme Court ruled that this was rightfully Robert E. Lee's family's home in Arlington, Virginia. They then sold it back to you. And now what are you going to do? You're going to strip the name of Robert E. Lee from his home that the U.S. Supreme Court ruled was his rightful home. I'm for, the Arlington Cemetery continuing to be what it is, obviously. But it's just they're going out of their way to erase American history like this. It's just another example, just like tearing down all the Confederate statues and doing all of the communist agenda, trying to just make America's history degraded and make you shameful of it. But it's just the irony. Lee, his family was ruled to be the rightful owners of the home, and then they sold it back to the federal government. And how are we going to pay you back for that? We're going to remove Robert E. Lee's name from the house.
Pea brain.
And Senator Tim Kaine is the senator of the state that Lee is from, like Virginia. And so, wow, great job, Virginia. You not only got Spanberger as your governor, you got Tim Kaine as your senator. And he's making a mockery of one of Virginia's greatest Virginians ever. So it's just, I don't know. It's probably not going to pass, I would hope. But just the fact that he's even going down that route is infuriating to me.
No, I got nothing for him.
I'm trying to think of what a good analogy would be. I know we got to go to a break. Maybe I'll think during the break. But like, you can rename everything that you don't like, but it still is what it is. I mean, it just is really dumb. And there's so many things like in my family history that, yeah, they're not great, but they still happened. And yeah, you can act like they didn't happen, or you can acknowledge them and be better for it and move on. Like, what good does it do to start erasing all these things? What's the saying? Like, if you don't know history, you'll repeat it. Okay, let's just erase all this so that in 100 years we can be back where we started. I just don't get it.
No.
Doesn't mean, I don't know. Lame. See, that was a good story.
Thank you.
Yeah, that
right.
wasn't
was
lame.
good. That was good.
I thought it was going to be way worse. That was good.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP, finishing up a Thursday. So what were the results of the poll?
11 no's, 2 yeses, 2 I don't cares.
Okay.
I think that's pretty representative, I would say.
But one of the I don't cares said, I don't care, but I don't really want it. So it's kind of like a no, but he said, I don't really.
It's a half no. It's kind of like when the ball goes in, but then it comes back out.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like when you get fouled and make 1 of 2 foul shots,
Yeah. Yeah.
just half.
Yeah, sort of.
I appreciate the honesty. All right. Well, I'm going to pass it along.
Okay.
Seriously, I am.
But that's the thing of like, how many times do we have to make ourselves known that we don't want it?
I mean, they wouldn't keep bringing it up unless they wanted us to say yes, so that then they could all somehow figure out a way to reward friends and family for their service. It's kind of like bullying.
Here's the question.
And if we put it on the ballot, by the way, like we have before, and we say no again, are they going to be done?
Well, I mean, no, but here it's exactly right, because this commission that they put all their best friends on then get to pick the people who are allowed to have casinos in Alabama. And there's only not, it's all, I need to pull up the bill, but it's all these requirements. There's only so many places you can have them. So then we're going to pick the losers and the winners, which, what if the 3 of us wanted to have a casino? We couldn't, because they're probably not picking us. Like the last bill that went through, the way it was laid out, like if Donald Trump wanted to come in, he couldn't even put a casino in here. So it's just a good old boy system. They just need a commission so Uncle Joe can get paid.
Yeah.
And we can make millions and he can retire.
Aunt Lurleen could meet you down there at the casino.
Vanita May.
Yeah,
she's
do some
coming.
gambling and have some fun and eat some cheese sticks and probably dip some tortilla chips instead of that cheese, maybe. And put some jalapeno peppers on there and have just a great old time. They also let you smoke in the casino. So it's
do
great.
they?
They let you smoke in the casino.
Can I get on this commission?
Casino.
Yeah, JP, you're
Please.
going to get on the commission.
Okay.
And you're going to go with us down there, and
You better find some money to pay some people off.
yeah, and act like you didn't.
If I do my homeless stunt and make some earnings, can I just get some
Yeah.
chips and dip at the commission
You can
meeting?
get some chips and dip.
Okay, good.
You basically described like ballpark cheese in a plastic
just-
container. You made it sound really good. No, this is really good.
All right, let's do that.
No, it's good.
It's a racket, just like that.
It's it.
Okay, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We're doing it again. We're not even doing that one. Would you rather eat a raw onion or eat a spicy pepper?
Spicy pepper. Wait, I eat raw onions every day.
That's
onions.
actually no. You would like to take a chunk out of an onion?
No, pepper. Pepper.
But then pepper, you'd have scupsy of the foo-foo.
Yeah.
I'll do a pepper.
You do an onion?
I mean, that's actually really hard to do. Yeah, I think I'd do a pepper.
Okay.
I like spicy.
It could be over real quickly.
But when you onion,
But
you'll
the
be crying.
Onion,
and-
yeah, and then you got to like eat it like an apple, like all.
Ew.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
Peppers.
Okay. What do we have tomorrow? Do we have any guests tomorrow?
No,
Nope.
guess
What's
what?
tomorrow?
Friday.
Friday. We're going to talk about what forms of capital punishment should be brought back. And we expect to hear from all of y'all.
Jousting. Somebody will die. All right. It was fun. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
You're listening live